questions and comments.
The honourable member from Whitby.
Speaker, I have a very hard time listening to this member give his speech referencing support for Ukraine when that member stood up multiple times in this House and voted against more support for Operation Unifier, voted against support for Ukrainian refugees coming to Canada, voted against a deal, an updated free trade agreement with Ukraine, between Canada and Ukraine, that President Zelensky himself asked us to pass. I can't understand. This BIA has additional support for Ukraine in terms of using seized Russian assets. We heard just an announcement at the G7 that the Prime Minister made to support Ukraine with more additional funds. How can the member honestly criticize our government when he can't stand up for Ukraine?
The honourable member from Selkirk, Interlake, Eastman.
Mr. Speaker, that member over there well knows that no one's fought more harder for Ukraine than I have. I was one of the first of 13 to be banned from Russia because I've taken a strong stand in support of Ukraine for a long, long time. And I will take no lessons from that member. You know, Mr. Speaker, we didn't support the free trade agreement because we already have a free trade agreement that was in place that was better than the free trade agreement that didn't have a carbon tax in it, where the Russian, or where you actually have the Liberals sticking in a carbon tax into a free trade agreement. We know that the Liberals, Mr. Speaker, also supported sending over turbines to pump Russian gas into Europe to help fund Putin's war machine. We'll never take lessons from the Liberals on how to not stand up for Ukraine.
Colleagues. I think there could be a lot more decorum, and people should not be taking the floor unless they're recognized by the Speaker. The honourable member had asked a question. The honourable member was responding.